I'm Cody Rhodes, and you're listening to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast.
That's the one. That's the one.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddies.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Compadres. You know, we are very lucky to be here on Fox Sports for a number of reasons, but mainly today because sometimes we get grace with special guests that are willing to come into the Fox Sports studios, grab a coffee, have a seat, hang out, and today is one of those days. We have professional wrestler, actor, possible future villain or hero on the CW, a man who's going to be at the Battle of Los Angeles this weekend, PWG, and also recently took batting practice with a broken Matt Hardy, which is glorious. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Cody Rhodes.
Wow, the batting practice, I don't know how many people saw that, but
I did.
I was out there just slinging it, and he watched the whole time and just said just wild, obscure things over my shoulder, but yet never wanted to get in there, and he just wanted to let me do it. So I didn't want to let him down. I was just trying to hit rockets. I didn't want to let him down.
He's getting practice in for Maxwell.
I guess. He had the whole broken family with him on Saturday at the autograph signing. So the baby was actually in the deal, out there taking pictures with fans. And
Wow.
Yeah, it was really. I just got a huge kick out of it. I spied several pictures just while it was going on.
Just to remember it by.
I mean, Scotty, I know you follow Maxwell closely. I believe he's still the only undefeated baby.
Yeah. There's other babies out there that have been defeated, but Maxwell's still undefeated. He's like the Goldberg of babies.
Wow.
There we go.
Pressure's on there for sure.
The gold baby.
Big time.
No doubt. So first off, everything you've done over the last couple of months has been amazing. So I figured we would revisit the checklist that you came up with. And let's just go down just to show everyone how much you have done in such a short amount of time. I'm going to run down the list, and you let me know, check or not quite yet.
Okay.
All
yes.
Right. Battle of Los Angeles.
We can check that.
Yes.
It's Saturday. Mm-hmm. But we can check it for sure. Yeah, that's a check.
You're in Los Angeles.
I'm here.
You had a battle at the batting cages. I think that counts.
It's definitely checkable, yeah.
Kurt Angle?
Check.
Can't wait to
Big
talk about
check.
that. That's going to be great. Adam Cole?
No check.
Dalton Castle?
No check.
Chris Hero?
Check.
The Miracle Mike Bennett?
Check.
Moose?
No check.
Pat Buck?
Well, in a week, I can give you a check on that. I mean,
4.5 will do.
Yeah. The streamers thing.
Check, but I'm expecting kind of a redo on the streamers bit because Northeast Wrestling, the show we did where I wrestled Sami Callihan, they did the streamers thing, but they weren't really sure of themselves in the moment. And both me and Jushin Liger just one flew over. And then it was oh, cool. And then another flew over.
The discount streamers gimmick.
And then one popped me in the head, and I was like, oh.
That's Streamer's thing.
Yeah, all right,
Young Bucks.
No check.
Trevor Lee.
I mean, that check's coming up. We have an announced match, several, I believe. I think Ricky Steamboat is the special guest referee.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, on a big-time wrestling show we're doing in South Carolina.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Shibata.
That's the hardest of the checks.
I can imagine.
That's the one that I've had to talk to his people, and I've had to go through 3 different waves of his people. I love the mystique behind New Japan Pro Wrestling. When my dad went to New Japan in the 1970s, I think, 1970s, and I'm not sure if it was New Japan. I believe it was with him and Inoki. But just the entire wrestling culture, All Japan, New Japan, Noah, whatever it may be, they're so protective of their stars and what your intentions are, and I think the list might have actually offended them on some. But now on the third wave, I'm still speaking directly with English speaking American liaisons to New Japan. I think I'm right at the door of actually talking to somebody in Japan, but looks like it is gonna happen.
Do you think they looked at the list and went, "You want to fight a moose? You want to fight a live moose before you fight Shibata?"
I'm sure
This guy.
this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Who is Bola?
Yeah,
And final 2, Roderick Strong.
that's not a check yet.
Okay. And finally, personal ring announcer.
That's That's a check on Saturday.
All right.
I'm bringing my own.
Spoiler.
I'm bringing
alerts.
my own for the second night of the Battle of Los Angeles.
So we've got 5.5 checked off.
Carrlyn, I can't think of who that personal ring announcer might be.
Who? What?
Is this a Craigslist ad or something?
No one replied on the Craigslist ad. So yeah,
That's
I didn't
absurd.
see it. I
I had to go a little closer to home.
So you had to bring a
Okay.
travel partner with you?
Yeah. Yep.
Fair enough.
Oh, cool. Oh, I get it now. I get it now.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So Battle of LA, it happens every single year. PWG packs it out. You've never had a chance to do this, obviously, but you've never actually been at the event. What have you heard, and what are you expecting?
Well, the first thing I heard was like, I don't know if it was even complimentary as far as I just got a text from someone who is a regular at PWG. And I think their exact words were, be ready for the most disgusting, hot, sweaty, several ways of describing just how hot it is in there. But also they wrote, it's the most generous audience you may ever come across. And that's what I've seen, and a lot of the guys, a lot of like the WWE guys who've never had the chance to like get out there. You watch mainly like the little GIF fest people put online, and then once you see something you really like, you like want to dig in and actually like go out and watch the full matches. So I've seen a lot of PWG. I have special tights, and I'm not sure if I want to wear them. I'm going to show you a picture.
I can't wait.
They're super pandering. Like,
Okay.
I like them.
Please throw streamers at me.
But they might as well say that. I told the guy, like, put the PWG Guerrilla subtly where the Austin Hall Eagle would be on the current design I have for my tights.
Oh, boy.
And he didn't do it subtly at all. But I really like his work. But, like,
Yep.
here's a picture of them.
Oh, well, there it is.
But then it's just, I mean, it's not subtle at all. It's
The crowd's going to love
it's
that,
the
though.
Gorilla, and then he wrote on the pad and everything. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't go for subtle. He might have missed the text entirely and
No.
just
That's playing for the home team. That's the home team jersey.
That-
exactly.
yeah.
But a rule of thumb I have: if you're ever one of those guys that needs the, like, if you're at the local place and you need the help of putting on the home team jersey, it's a weird rule that my dad had. He chewed out DDP over doing it one time in Michigan. So I feel like, I don't know. I like the tights a lot though. So
I think they
it'll
look
be a
cool.
game day. The boots also say Bola, so it's a little
Okay.
much.
No.
A little much.
What
This is
about the
good.
comeback? Like, what about the, like, you got to summon the strength, and then, some gear gets ripped off, and what do you know?
Wow.
There's the Gorilla.
There it is. So in the hottest building on potential Earth, you want me to wear 2 sets
Yep.
of double layered tights.
Think of how good that's going to feel once that first layer.
That's true. That's true. I would legit have a second win. Like, I would be able to like come out of it. Yeah, no, that's true.
So you've never even seen it in person, is what you're saying. Not,
I drove by. Little secret. I did a dry run
okay.
because I like to know where these arenas are, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did a dry run, but I've never even been inside.
It's easy to miss. I mean, you could drive right by the place.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is incredible. Like that was a really good adjective that your friend texted you. Generous. This crowd, they go all out to be there, and there's not even like a big buzz on social media about. I mean, there is a big buzz, but like there's no filming, no pictures, no nothing. So when you're there, you have to experience it live. Like, there's no Snapchatting while people are sitting down. So it's really cool how truly involved everyone is. So, oh man,
You're there almost every taping, right?
I try to be. It's I live in Anaheim now, which is very far from Reseda, California, but man, do I try. It's like nothing else.
Did you see the Space Cat the last time? Did you go the last time?
I did not. I went the time before that.
I guess the last time Sami Callihan pulled out the Space Cat, which is a very like just rubber cat mask. Like,
Yeah.
And Space Cat, he had like a little like feather duster, I think, with him, but Space Cat, yeah. So.
Oh man.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned that you face Sami Callihan. Are you worried
Round
that
one.
Space Cat might make an appearance?
Well, my concerns are my tights are a bit pandering. Likely, I will not wear the tights. 'Cause
Come on.
they're super pandering. The boots for sure, though.
So is Space Cat at this point.
But also, I might need all the help I can get because who on earth is gonna cheer against Space Cat? So I have. I said I had like 3 surprises that I was bringing to the Battle of Los Angeles. 1 being a personal ring announcer, 2 being custom gear for the event, and 3 is only someone who has followed my career pretty much the whole way would get the 3rd surprise. So
I can't wait.
yeah, I so want to spoil it, but I'm an oversharer, so I'm trying not.
Well, this
to.
will be the day before people see you. So if you want to spoil.
And don't forget, this is not televised, and everyone, it's been sold out for
It's
like
in Los
9.
Angeles.
Yeah, so
Right.
this could be your big reveal if you
Okay,
please.
okay.
In
Oh,
Wisconsin.
Oh, we're
Here-
getting the
It's
reveal.
been sold out for 9 years.
Here's what I'll say. It's maybe a quarter of a reveal.
Okay.
Sami Callihan becomes the Space Cat when he puts on his mask. So in my career, at one juncture, I also wore a mask, and I have one left, and I found it, and I'm bringing it. It's here, so in my bag, and I tried it on to make sure it fits still and everything. So that's only in the rare case. It's like the red button. In the rare case that he puts the damn cat hood on.
Which he may, because he knows that you also have traveled intergalactically.
That's true, yeah. So that is for those who have followed my career, there was one mask left, and it might make it to the Battle of Los Angeles.
That is rad.
I'm excited. Unless I
rad.
put it on the ring and somebody in like an earlier match gets down there and whacks somebody with it, then
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
who knows? Who knows?
Which in that front row, anything's possible.
yeah,
Eugene.
right?
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah, to Carlyn's point earlier about it, it is the speakeasy of wrestling.
It is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in.
Wow.
It's an
Yeah.
exclusive club,
Yep.
and everybody there loves it. I've been there once. I've only managed to get in there once in all
Yeah.
the years that I've been here.
And you'll get to try things that you don't think of that you'll ever get to try
Sure.
in those moments. And you'll get to, we're so face to face with you, interact with them, and just watch what happens. It is just an explosive.
There's no ring
massive-
steps, I
oh.
heard. That's a real.
Yeah. No
That's-
steps.
That's hard to do for me. Those steps are that's part of my
Key,
part
yeah.
of my thing. I need those steps, and my buddies keep telling me, "Hey, man, there's no ring steps."
You should bring your own ring steps.
I
That should be the
should.
fourth thing.
Fourth thing.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
fans will make
Yeah,
themselves
they will.
step
Yeah,
for
if,
you.
Yeah.
if you tell people to get down, you
They
can
will do
step
it.
on them and get into the ring.
I have a buddy who usually sits in the front row. I might do it to him.
No, seriously, they love good like creative things like that. So if you literally made someone get down
Lovely.
so you could have your
Yeah.
step entrance.
Lovely.
The fans
you
will
go.
bring it on it for you, and they will cheerlead all the way, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
one step at a time.
Just
Lovely.
go crazy. Seriously.
We're gonna go nuts.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna go nuts. I got out of here early just so that I can get like acclimated to that. I didn't want to come out day of or anything like that.
For
so,
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, to get to Reseda on time, you should leave right after this interview.
yeah,
All right.
seriously.
LA traffic.
The traffic is brutal.
I found
here.
out you guys
Yeah.
were accommodating. I was late. I don't know if anyone will ever know that. I was late to this interview.
5 minutes in LA is on time.
Ooh.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
Ooh.
late's like an hour. That was you were not late.
Okay.
You were on
I
time.
was on time.
Yeah.
Now, earlier this week, you were in New York. You got to face Kurt Angle. I don't believe that was recorded at all. So
I think they did it for the High Spots Network. Recorded it.
Okay.
Northeast Wrestling has like a connection with the High Spots Network, so I think it comes. Yeah, I think it comes out on tomorrow. All those shows.
What was it like? Because obviously, you and Kurt Angle, I don't believe were ever on the same. Right? Because he left before you.
Right as I came up,
Right, yeah.
Actually, right as I like got into the developmental system at OVW, he was drafted at ECW, and then shortly thereafter he moved on, and then 6 months later he was with TNA, I believe. Like everything was real quick, so it was kind of like ships in the night. So to be Kurt Angle, have you seen Kurt Angle lately?
Yeah.
Intense,
Always is.
intense dude.
It's one of the eyes.
Yeah.
He never forgets it.
Eyes wide open, just kind of in your face, and has hit so professional wrestling prime is unique, especially if you look back at like the 80s and 70s of wrestling. Prime for pro wrestling sometimes is usually between 35 and like 45. Mm-hmm. It's bizarre, but that's when I guess that's like the prime age. Like I believe that's like Eddie Guerrero. You follow him through his whole career, kind of hits his stride in that target area. And Kurt Angle, I feel like is currently still. I hope he's in that target area. I'm not gonna look up how old he is and then say I blew it. But yeah,
we'll
26.
Wikipedia it after.
yeah, I was all about I was all about facing Kurt Angle, and that was why he was on the list, because I knew he was only going to have a select number of matches left, and it's really nice to me.
I was going to ask. I
it
mean,
was
he's
really nice to
incredibly
me.
respectful. I mean,
Yeah.
how cool was it to talk to him beforehand and then actually be out in the ring together? And obviously, you won the match, which great. But
I won the match, and then he instantly was like, "Well, we have to do a second match." So I was like, "Oh, cool." So we're doing one in Manchester for What Culture. So we have
wow.
Bret Hart's on that
Over
show.
the pond?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we want to make it international.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we split the difference, if he beats me in Manchester, then there's going to have to be a third match.
Where
So-
would you choose?
Fox
if you could
Sports.
just choose anywhere. Yeah, other than this desk.
other than right here in the studio, a
Right.
third match? Oh, I'd do it in Atlanta.
all right.
I do it in Atlanta. And you know what? The moment we got in Atlanta, I'd regret it. Atlanta is the most fickle sports city, and just you think they're going to love something, and then you just look out there and just shake your heads at them and just
You let me down, Atlanta.
there's so many times in my head, because I'm from Marietta,
Yeah.
and you think, they'll say, hey, from Marietta, Georgia. They'll think, that's essentially Atlanta. Let's
Yeah.
cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you say like from Hotlanta or puts like, it's just they're not ready to have anything in Atlanta, in my opinion. They're really not. The Braves have moved out of Atlanta. The stadium is in Marietta now, which is like my hometown. The Falcons are a disaster, and we had this moment where we all rallied behind them, and then Vic came along and we all rallied behind that, and then that went south.
A little bit.
So the Falcons are a disaster. The Hawks, if you've ever gone to a Hawks game, empty, but also let's try every gimmick we possibly can.
Yeah.
There's 80 mascots, there's 80 segments involved with the single game. Like, I did one as a media day for a Phillips Arena show where we like choke slammed, I don't know, Harry the Hawk or something.
Oh, God.
And like, it was in the middle of like, they're back on the court, like throwing like actually like practice shots. Like,
Right.
what are we doing, and who is watching this? Like, just I don't know. The Olympics made I hate saying this, but like the Olympics made Atlanta an A market. It was not ready to be an A market.
Oh, geez.
I love Atlanta because it's my town.
Right.
But the only thing they were ever really good to was the wrestling when it was at the Omni, and then other than that, they need to get it together. We still have UGA in Athens, and we'll always have the Braves. But whew.
I always wondered that because I'm a huge basketball fan, and growing up, I would always wonder, how are people not showing up for Dominique Wilkins? I don't understand. They just didn't care. They never cared about the Hawks. They rarely care about the Falcons. Just weird.
It doesn't make any sense. I guess it's like the demo, like the makeup of both Atlanta, Buckhead, and the suburbs surrounding it. But the people don't come together for whatever reason. Atlanta, the only time I guess we really came together was for the Olympics. And I'd say we had a pretty disastrous Olympics. So
Atlanta, get your shit together.
Yeah,
essentially.
Please.
Got to make sure you get the right tights for Atlanta. Got to get over there. The PWG tights, or make an Atlanta version of it.
I wrestled Rey Mysterio in the Georgia Dome for WrestleMania 27, and it was my first WrestleMania in a singles match, and I was in the ring. You couldn't see it, but in my mind saying, come on, guys. You can do better than there's 70-something thousand of you. What is wrong? We haven't even started wrestling yet.
Oh,
there's no excuse for this.
Right.
None. They just seen Edge like destroy a car after the Alberto match.
Yeah.
It's
just that Southern charm. That's all.
Yeah, they need to pick it up.
They need to watch PWG.
They need to pick it up.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm never going to be welcome back. I'm never going to be welcome back.
So now you're technically, I mean, as a wrestler, you're always technically your own boss. But really, over the past couple of months, now that you are essentially free to do whatever you want, is it almost like every day you wake up with like the Alice Cooper School's Out song in your brain, like where you essentially have the world is your oyster now, and you're taking full advantage?
I will say, when I finally made the official phone call that it was over, that my 10-year run with WWE had ended, and this is not exaggerated how like on cue it was. I was actually like, I'm on the phone, I'm alone in my car, but I was actually like nervous and like shaking about the whole thing. And then I hung up the phone, and I still got to drive home, and there's traffic, so I have to be like cognizant of the road. And I like cranked up the radio, and Tom Petty's "Free Fallin'" was on, and
Wow.
I legit sang that song at the top of my lungs in my vehicle, just as a like spiritual, like just lashing out a little bit. It was a happy moment. And now to your point, like I can do anything, and I've had a lot of like some of the boxes have been checked, and we're on our way. The difficult thing to tell people is I don't want to just come into your house and mess your house up and leave, but I'm not signing contracts.
Right.
That's really hard for people to understand because they think like, oh, you just want our publicity, and I want to help your brand, but I also think, like I think your brand can help me. Like it's a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on what I call a handshake, non-contract tour. So it's difficult. But it's cool because I think it'll get me to literally everywhere there is in wrestling in a short span of time.
I think in wrestling, sometimes the most important word is no. If you're
Ooh.
thinking about it like that, unless you say no, then that handshake deal can lock you in for something that you're not expecting. So
What is your experience with wrestling? I'm very curious.
I interviewed Punk yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And we were talking about his name, CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I said, how the heck did you keep that? And he's like, sometimes it's very beneficial to say no to people.
Yeah.
So that just kind of reminded me of that, where, you're saying it's like, I'm not trying to get sucked into somebody else's contracts right now. So in your case, it's very much like that, where sometimes the best thing to do is say no for everybody.
What kind of mood was Punk in when you interviewed him?
He was in a good mood. He was chill. He had just gotten done with his training, and he was sitting in bed, just hanging out. We had a nice long 25-minute chat.
But y'all are hockey homies.
We were hockey homies, yeah. So I've known him for a
You had a
little
lot
bit.
of things going. I always had great experiences with him. I think
Right.
he's not the grumpiest wrestler I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, there are grumpier, but I know I've seen him on a couple moments. But I'm glad. He looked, the first interview he did when he had the suit and tie, when he announced he was going to UFC, he looked 20 years younger than the last time I saw him. I was thinking, wow, well, good on you. And like, I don't give a damn if he wins or loses the fight. He already kind of won in my eyes.
That's exactly what he said, too.
Yeah.
I already won. The second I step into the ring, I already won. That's what he said.
Unless it's
Or
like a
the
flash
octagon.
knockout, which I don't anticipate.
I don't either.
Just the fact that this is something he has zero experience with.
Right.
Zero. And to go and have the balls to do it, like we're not like close buds or good friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not rallying for him necessarily because he's the pro wrestler. I just think that's a cool career like move he made.
Right.
And he got very serious about it and like allotted his resources to making himself good at it. So I'm excited to see how he does.
His
He
energy.
checked off his list too.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, for sure.
His energy was very much like yours, where it was Tom Petty free falling. Like he was just a different person because he wasn't under.
I mean, you two have parallels.
Yeah.
You both, we only have one life, and you guys are both taking full advantage of the fact that you've earned these amazing opportunities. Why not go for what you want to go for? He wanted to step in the octagon. You want to make sure that you accomplish everything you want to do in professional wrestling and beyond, like CW's Arrow and other things.
Yes. And that was a big, I don't think we would have got the opportunity to do Arrow had I stayed. It seemed like something they liked, and there was talk about it, but they're different networks, and I thought that doesn't really matter. Like it's not a competing show. We're not on the same night at the exact same time. I think it only helps everybody.
It's crossover.
Yeah.
He was on your show and doing that thing, and then people were interested in going, I guess I'll check that out. And then if it's vice versa, that's only that much more interesting.
I'm going to show you guys a clip if it exists.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
And I don't think it exists, so just let's pretend.
Would you be allowed to? Oh, you could just show us.
I'm just going to show you guys.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna
Scoop.
show you guys.
Exclusive.
I'm an oversharer.
So you already shot the episode.
I shot the episode, yes. It airs October 19th. October 19th. The show comes back on the air October 5th.
Yes, it
And
does.
I'm sure you've seen all like the spoilers about it. Let's see if this.
We try to avoid spoilers as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
People have ruined Game of Thrones for me multiple times. So
That's
at
easy
this
to,
point,
but that's easy to ruin.
yeah, you gotta stay off the internet if you want to
Oh, boy.
not get spoiled anymore.
All right, I'll try to find a shot that actually makes sense.
Okay.
Here's a little clip ski.
Exclusive clip.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. There's some smoke.
Is there fire yet?
There's explosives.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You're shirtless. He's shirtless. He's giving a mean look.
So
Serious.
The reason I
Wow.
wanted this clip was not because I thought, I need to see this clip. This is like the coolest moment it's because I thought my hair was on fire. And
like a Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know the like vernacular on set where it's more than just rolling in action. There's so many things they yell.
Speeding.
And sometimes they yell your name.
Yeah.
like you get into action before the rest of the scene, and a lot of times they would literally go, Cody, because I wouldn't be moving,
right?
Because I don't want to mess this up. Like these are expensive cameras. The setup took forever. I don't want them to have to reset up, but they didn't say anything and the fire was still going off behind me.
Yeah,
and I could just feel the back of my head was like so warm. I was like, if I'm on fire, like, please cut.
Get the shot. Get the shot.
Please cut, because I can only hold this. And there's like another camera. It was just like coming in, and I was like, "There's this face I'm giving you is not good." Like,
oh no.
Yeah, but no, my hair wasn't on fire. So
what I like about that clip is it doesn't really tell us what your character is.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
It's just intense.
Yeah,
just that you hate shirts.
Well,
and love explosions.
I love hate shirts, love explosions, CO2, and all that goodness. It was a fun shoot.
What was performing that like compared to wrestling? Because you only get one take when you're wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That was multiple takes, I'm assuming, unless you nailed it the first time.
I didn't nail anything the first time.
Yeah.
So live TV that's where it's probably wrestling's you learn the most on live TV. Not just because of reaction, but because of things sometimes you have to do. Well, it's live. Like you can't pull that punch, and you have to kind of like really step into things. I will say, I thought it was entertaining that the stunt crew there, which is a great crew, James Bamford and his crew who do those stunts in Vancouver. My gosh, like it seems like they direct all the stunt sequences kind of outside of the episode direction, and it's just like the way they flow together is really wonderful. But they assumed I had stunt experience because of wrestling. Oh, he's like a wrestler, he'll know. And I don't want to say much, but like at one point they told me, like, you got this guy and you give him this exaggerated, like crank on the neck, and then, give him a punch, and then, throw him in the steps. And I'm thinking,
okay.
Like, I'm looking at this guy, and the guy's just not saying anything. And I'm thinking, there's a huge difference between a wrestling punch and a punch. And my nerves in this moment will likely commit me to just punching this man. And I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking he's gonna be okay with it. He's gonna be good with it. And long story short, the first stuntman I got to mix it up with, I did hurt. And things were explained to me later. Everyone was great. No one like got hurt on set, but he did bang his head on some stuff, and a wrestling punch is different from a television punch, and I found out.
Boy.
I found out. I committed though. Damn.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You're gonna punch him.
If you say, hey,
the director told me to punch him,
and then you run off set and go, all right, here we go, and like, what are you gonna do? And I punched him.
Maybe they paid him SAG-AFTRA double for that punch. Who knows?
I punched him in the forehead though, because I thought, oh well, don't want to punch him in the jaw because all the nerves are in the jaw. Don't want to punch him in the nose because I don't want his eyes to water or bust his nose. The hardest bone in the body is essentially the top of your head, and I was mentally just aiming for his forehead. I don't think he didn't say anything to me other than just like kind of shook his head a little bit.
Are we good with that? No more takes, right?
It's like, wrestlers just punch each other in the forehead.
Yeah.
What a terrible job.
I noticed afterwards they were way more specific and descriptive, but they did let Steven, who plays the main character on the show, obviously he does so much of his own stuff, and they let me do a lot of my own stuff, which was obviously the first day a mistake, but after that was like It was like I really like fell into it, and like I don't know, I could have sucked, but on set they made me seem like I was like the greatest thing ever. They were super generous, and it's a great episode. It's October 19th. The season is a lot grittier arrow than some of the fans of the series might be used to, but it's definitely a direction that everyone kind of wanted it to go in, and I was just happy to be part of the world.
Did you get some creative input when you got to do more stuff, as Steven gets to do his thing, and then when you're either choreographic fights or you're doing other stuff, did you get some input in there?
I was able to do anything and be told less, more, this way, that way. Like it was just a wonderful, like, creative outlet. And it's fun to watch because Steven came, and when he worked with us, he was incredibly ears open, mouth shut, kind of like, well, what can I do and how do I enter your world? But then in his world, when the Green Arrow walks on set, people really like the level of respect is high.
Wow.
And I obviously, like, I got a huge kick. I'm looking at the boots at one point, and like he's like 20 feet above me on this like crane, and I'm thinking, this is pretty cool. It's like Green Arrow, and I'm a fan of the show too. But the way, anytime he says anything on set, is just the respect is, I love it. I love it. There's like this whole, like, everyone just is quiet while he thinks.
You can relate to that. Anytime your dad would speak, automatically the respect.
Oh yeah,
Bam.
yeah, man. No, anybody from Canada? Are you guys Canadian?
I'm half Canadian.
You have so like
I'm a dual citizen.
Like the Canadian, like, okay. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing ever, and I've adopted it now because he was doing it. Somebody would ask, change this or do this, or what do you think about this? And then dead silence for like a minute, and everyone's just, whoa. I'm thinking, I wonder if he's like pissed, or maybe he's thinking, but no one's saying anything. And then like he would just look down, and the hood's on, and just go, okay. And I thought like, oh, that's like, awesome.
Is that Bob?
Yeah.
It's a Canadian computer processing.
Yeah,
and then okay.
It all happened, and then just okay. And that now, like, I do it, like, Brandi will like say something to me in the house, and I'll just think about it, and like I don't mean to. I'm okay.
You're like, is that Bob or Doug McKenzie under the hood? What's going on here?
Don't you know?
That reminds me, 2 years ago, I think we must have had about 4 Spaceballs references in the interview that we did with you a couple years ago, which I automatically respected you just for being a Spaceballs fan and knowing the references.
I saw Spaceballs before I saw Star Wars.
Whoa.
Really?
Yes.
As you should have.
I saw Spaceballs, and then I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. My first Star Wars experience was special editions at the theater. Oh. Yeah, I had the toys and everything, but did not understand the layout of the world, so I wasn't sure who was who and what was what. I knew like Luke is the good guy, and then I watched the special editions and like blew my mind.
Have you gone back and since watched the original cuts?
Honestly, like in and out. I've never watched them.
Me neither.
In their full duration. Like I've never seen it. I know
Really?
Zack Ryder, like that's his like big thing is like the originals, and if you don't like the originals, you're a dick. But
he's such a nerd.
My God,
The biggest nerd.
my God,
Yeah, that guy's the nerd. Why didn't he watch the original?
at down the way in Anaheim, they have the Star Wars launch bay at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Zach every year organizes a very large Disneyland trip. Nice. And we love theme parks, so we always go with Zach on the Disneyland excursion. And they had the launch bay this year, and this is no joke. This is one of my favorite things that's ever happened. The game plan usually is go to California Adventure and just get hammered because there's no alcohol at the actual Disneyland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So get hammered at California Adventure, and then all you have to do is walk. No transportation.
It's like Epcot Center. Go to a beer every
oh yeah, around the world, which is another one of Zach's like never goes right because everyone gets mad. They're so drunk they're mad at a certain juncture. But we get to Disneyland, and the first thing we do is we want to go to the launch bay. Mm-hmm. And we were on one of these like VIP tours that Zach like pays a fortune for, and we forget to pay him back, and then like so
we can edit that part out.
No, it's on the record.
All right. So we go in, and the music's playing, and the scroll is on the floor, and it's just like it's really beautiful for like a Star Wars fan. It's like honestly, it was super touching. Like I was thinking, gosh, this is so cool. But he actually said under his breath, and he's standing right next to me, he just goes, this is the best day of my life.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't, I didn't even share it with anybody in the group at the time. I was like, well, you know.
That is adorable.
That makes me so happy.
It's the best day of my life.
Jesus.
That's adorkable.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah, that was a hell of a day.
Oh man, this is the second time at Fox Sports that we've gotten on the topic of Zack Ryder being a nerd. We talked about it. Miz came in and we interviewed him, and it was the same thing. He was like, he wwent off, oh my God, what a nerd, and like went into it. Ghostbusters and Zack Ryder, and just
Everyone's got something.
Yes,
If
he has
there's
he has a lot of things. That's the thing. Like,
he's got a lot of nerd things.
Yeah, like
it's awesome. Though.
It's a lot of stuff that you have to have a respect for,
Yeah.
or otherwise you're really like Back to the Future is a cool movie. Like I like it. I don't need to base my life on it. Like, same with like Ghostbusters. Like you can't say anything, and he just snaps. So yeah, and Zach's super hot-headed to get up in arms over these issues. So you got to get him on the show. Ask him about these things.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be a
mean,
whole episode.
At this point, he's got to be next in line.
Zach needs to come on.
That'd be an entire episode.
Something I know you held near and dear to your boots there for a while was the Triforce.
Yeah, I got a cease and desist from Nintendo.
No way.
Yeah,
no way.
That was like in 2000. It was weird. It was like in 2008. And I got 2008 or 2009. I got a cease and desist about the Triforce being on the boots. But then a month later, I got a call to do an interview with Nintendo Power.
You're like, is this a setup?
Yeah, I was like, well,
It's a trap.
yeah,
They're gonna serve you papers.
Cue Admiral Akbar. No, like I didn't know really like what to do, and I did the interview, and it was like about like the boots and my love for the game. So I was like, maybe those departments don't really work. And so, but nothing ever came of the cease and desist.
That sounds a lot like the corporate world. Two departments.
Yeah.
Poor
not
communication in
communicating.
corporate? No.
No. What?
I made Brandi a pair of wrestling boots that also have the Triforce on them, but they're just like it's like green, so no one can get too hot about it. It's kind of in the leather.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Brandi, how exciting is this time for her? Because she stepped away the same time you did. Obviously, you're both staying incredibly busy. Is she jumping back in the ring? Is she looking for hosting?
Man.
Or what is she doing?
So she's ride or die. I don't know if you
got a good one.
I
don't
follow
know.
her on Twitter.
I don't know if you met Brandi.
We want to have her on the show. You got a good one, my friend.
She man, I should have brought her. She's pretty warm-blooded. Pretty hot-headed woman. I love it. She's definitely the most passionate person that I know.
That's a great word for it. Passionate.
Passionate, and she wants to take that passion and channel it into a lot of things. And all these things at first sounded like, well, you want to host, you want to act, you might want to wrestle. They sounded like, well, maybe pick one and focus. And I was wrong, because in the last few weeks, a lot of them have been coming together and coming to fruition. And I'm very proud of some stuff she's only a few weeks away from announcing. So I don't want to blow it for her, because I legit, she chewed me out at a gifting in LA because I told the interviewer about her writing her horror novel. And she told me, that's mine to tell. You don't tell anybody.
That's rad.
Yeah, so she's a very special woman, and I'm excited for her to. I understand a little bit of her position, because I think sometimes she thinks, oh, well, they just want to talk to you, or
No, we'd love to have her on. Are you kidding me?
There you go, because
Brandi, please.
Brandi.
get her on. Yeah,
You're
Next
next on the show.
Next time you're in LA, come on.
yeah. So she would love it, and she's got a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm very, very happy for her. I was really hoping she would get a high paying gig, which looks like she's going to, and then just I could just do nothing. Just do nothing for a while.
That's a dream right there.
Right? Just do nothing.
What are your days of nothing? What would that consist of? Is that all Zelda? Is that all?
A true day of
Yeah.
nothing? See, I might put too much energy into nothing, if that makes sense, because I want it to be so well done. Likely, it would be I have a little theater room in my house. It would likely be one movie, and then I need a narrative-based game like a Metal Gear Solid or a new Zelda. Something that would just at that time come out, right, where I could legit. I tried to explain this to Brandi, actually. She's like, well, you can play. I was like, no, when I play these games, they take a long time. because of the narrative elements of it. It's not just like pick up and play like it used to be.
It's a story.
Yeah, something I could get lost in
Totally
for
immersive.
a day with likely mellow mushroom pizza.
Ooh.
Mellow mushroom pizza, and then switch over to dinner, which is going to be Wild Wing, and not Buffalo Wild Wings, Wild Wing Cafe, which has a wing called the Gold Rush, which I could die right there.
Boneless or regular?
Regular, traditional. It's called the Arn Anderson, where you fall asleep because the food's so good and it's on your chest still. Yeah, so I could pull an Arn Anderson and just go to town.
That's
Pizza,
Scott
wings.
every day.
Yeah, I fall asleep eating all the time.
That's great.
I didn't know that Arn Anderson does that too. We have so much in common.
Now we have a name for it.
It's called the Arn when you just take a nap with a crystal hamburger or something on your chest, because it's right there when you wake up too.
Oh God.
Right there. Yep.
And just go like, give me 4 hours. Just give me four.
Yeah.
Four.
No longer called the
Because when
Narver.
you hit the carb coma, like you want to you want more. You just can't. Your body can't process it. So there it is. You take the nap. It's ready for you to go. Round 2.
But I imagine you have to be on a pretty strict diet, though, right?
It's
'Cause
the worst.
You're in crazy shape.
It's the worst.
Right?
It's the worst. Just it's depressing and upsetting, and it annoys waiters and waitresses where you go eat because you have so many specifics and oh, can the oil be on the side? No butter on the vegetables, and I just want to blow my brains out.
It's like, well, then you could have gone home and cooked for yourself. Why'd
Yeah,
you come
no,
out
exactly.
here?
And then we do pre-readied meals like My Fit Foods and Icon meals, and my gosh, nothing's more depressing than
Yeah.
this little tiny it looks like you're eating space food. It's
Yeah.
just, you know,
MREs and stuff.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
how
just
you distract Space Cat right there.
right there. Just throw a couple
Space
of them space rations out.
Here you go.
It's worth it though.
So you and Brandi just stare at each other like, you got yours? Yeah. Okay.
We don't even bring them to the table. That's how they don't even make it to the dinner table. We just have the little breakfast bar area. We don't even use our table. That's how just low rent these little meals are. But they're healthy.
They don't
for you.
deserve a table.
They don't deserve the
With
table.
all the traveling, it's probably a smart way to go.
Yeah, because everything you put in your fridge, you come back one weekend, it's all rotten.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
So
that's my boyfriend and I learned the hard way.
Yep.
Get a whole week's worth of meals, and by Friday when we haven't eaten any of them, it smells awful.
yeah, no good. You got to get through them.
Yep.
So obviously we got Bola this weekend. What else is on the horizon? It's hard to keep track of everything you have going on.
Bola is this weekend. Super excited about the Battle of Los Angeles and just being in a PWG ring in general. The thing that probably excites me the most, that's just kind of out there in the future, because I get really excited about almost every one of these dates I have. The following weekend, I have a match with Pat Buck. And Pat Buck is the first pro wrestling match I ever had when I was 20 in Corden, Indiana, in front of about 40 people.
Wow.
And now he runs Wrestle Pro in the New York, New Jersey area. So for me to have that opportunity is crazy.
Full circle.
Full circle. The one that's really gleaming, it was Kurt Angle, and it still is because we have the rematch. But Final Battle in Hammerstein Ballroom is going to be just damn bonkers. It's just going to be gangbusters. And I got my first ever welcome to Ring of Honor this weekend. One of the Dijak and Warbeard Hansen were in the locker room, and one of them said welcome to Ring of Honor, and I'm not really officially there yet, but to hear that was so wow. I never thought I would hear that, because I never thought I was going to leave WWE. So to hear it was just surreal, really surreal. So to be in Hammerstein Ballroom and it's sold out or near sold out, and to just have a match at Ring of Honor is really cool, because I had so many friends come through there, like Kevin and Dan, and to be able to say I did it too is special. I'm probably I'm sure I'm not supposed to say any of this garbage, but I'm probably gonna stick around there for a while.
Right.
Because it looks like the Shibata thing could happen there, likely. So
That's awesome.
Ring of Honor knows a few people in Japan.
yeah, they've got me on that
They got
fourth
that direct
wave.
line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So could we expect you on Ring of Honor television prior to December 2nd, you're saying?
No,
Okay.
maybe December 2nd. December 2nd for sure. Perhaps beforehand, but the first match I'll have is Hammerstein Final Battle, and then there's some time afterwards. I'll be around.
We'll have to put a word in with Nigel McGuinness. He lives out here.
Yeah, no, I saw Nigel at the Magic Castle.
There you go.
I
saw him at the
You
loves the
Castle.
magic.
Went to the Magic Castle.
I went to the Magic Castle. Yes.
Nigel
How-
does magic. Kind
Yeah.
of.
What?
Nigel does some card tricks and whatnot.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
He's a magician.
How cool is the open sesame through the bookcase?
It all was. So sometimes my manager lines up so many things that you don't know when you're walking into something really cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I probably should have looked into it or had a like moment to go, wow, like prepare myself. That one I wasn't prepared for. I was just told to wear a suit and tie, and I did, and walked in. And then it's like a whole, like what a gym in this whole United States as far as nightlife, as far as food, as far as just an overall immersive experience that doesn't involve your damn cell phone. Like what a gym. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So now I'm like, I know my guy there.
There you go.
So now I want to like continue to,
in.
I have my in. I want to continue to go. Yeah.
PWG is kind of like the Magic Castle.
That's
Yeah.
true. Except
Really though?
Irma won't play you any songs there.
No.
Yeah. Did you have Irma play you?
I had Irma play us a song. We stayed long enough that we had the privilege of one act was doing a coin trick that when we went to the bar, he was also doing the coin trick. So it was funny to see it twice essentially because one was way better than the other. And the bar magic is exceptional because the amount of like drinks passing around and stuff like that and just the overall jovial good time. Good time.
Yeah, it's a cool place. I got a buddy that performs there, and that's easier to get into. It seems like than PWG. To be totally honest.
Man, PWG.
But you don't have to dress up as nice for PWG.
Exclusive. Oh, I'm wearing a full suit to PWG, no matter if it's 1,000 degrees.
I look like a piece of shit when I roll to PWG. You probably won't even recognize me. It's bad.
Carrlyn wears a pantsuit like Hillary Clinton when she goes to PWG.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
I cut the
Your
sleeves
own-
off my t-shirt while I'm waiting in line. Like, it's awful.
Well, it's a bazillion degrees, right?
Oh yeah, it's true piece of shit over here.
I don't normally do this, but could I pitch you a move that you could possibly put in your
Oh my
arsenal?
God,
for Pro
yeah.
Wrestling Guerrilla.
Ballsy move.
Yeah.
Okay. Call it the Triforce Gorilla Press Slam.
So what is the move, though? Are you just...
The move, well, I gave
Is
you the
it a
name
gorilla
to,
press?
to paint the picture. Yeah, you're gorilla pressing someone up, and you go, ba, 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 ba.
Now it makes total sense.
And then you drop 'em.
For
You
a
can do
Zelda.
that to Sammy.
Yeah,
For a
Sammy's
Zelda fan.
pretty. He's a little light. You can do that.
I don't know if the nuance... One more time on the ba ba ba.
Ba, 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 ba. And
Now
then boom, you drop them.
I have to really commit to the ba ba ba.
Right. It's lifting up that Triforce.
A lot of multitasking.
I'll pop
as
for
Link
that, so
does.
then everybody will follow suit. Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah,
They'll
one
know.
person screaming."
They'll know.
Yeah.
Carrlyn will yell out, Zelda!
Yeah. Oh, I'll get a Zelda
Link.
chant going.
Link.
Well, if you yell it
Link.
out, then I can always go, hey, one more time, and then everyone's in on the
All
bit
right.
the second time.
There's our segue. I'll
But-
yell Zelda. You'll be. You'll,
But I also am considering about the advice you passed on to me earlier about sometimes you just need to say no.
Ah, damn it!
I hear that all the time, so that's fair. That is totally
We're
fair.
in between.
Why don't you just let Carrlyn be ringside? She'll guide you
I'll
as
be
to
the
when you should do
steps.
it.
I'll be the steps. I got a bad back.
Do the Zelda move.
You'll hear me. I'm front row. You won't miss me.
love it.
I'll be screaming.
I'm excited.
Jeez.
This has been awesome. I do have one final question.
Yeah.
We started off with the amazing checklist that you created and you're in the middle of fulfilling. But what a lot of people are dying to know, do you know if Stu Bennett ever succeeded his checklist with
Papa Shango?
Yeah.
I think it's TBD.
Okay.
It's still out. I don't think they've really crossed paths. One time, you know why Papa Shango's on that list, right? Have you ever heard the story?
No.
So a few years ago, Wade had tweeted out of frustration something about Papa Shango was going to be in the Royal Rumble because everyone makes their predictions on who's returning to the Royal Rumble. And then the following year, he did it again because somebody asked him. But he was correct in a sense because Papa Shango's alter ego, the Godfather, was in the Royal Rumble. And as he was pontificating and joking from the back row of a big meeting we were all in, I nudged him and said, hey, asshole, look in the front row because that's Papa Shango and that's his son who he's brought into the meeting randomly, and that's cool because you're a legend and he's a Hall of Famer, but that's his son. And he goes, and he stood up, and Wade's about 7 feet tall, so the scene was very public. And I don't know if it just always, after that, he just always thought, well, I can't spoil it again. I've already spoiled it once, so he's always out for Papa Shango. Always.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that. So where can people go? They can go on Facebook to official Cody Rhodes, and that's where you post everything you're going to be doing.
Man, that Facebook's a new thing for me. They kicked me off.
What?
They kicked me off. Yeah, I took a picture of myself with an 8x10 with a note to them saying, please don't kick me off Facebook. I'm back on.
Okay.
But
Okay,
they kicked
good.
me off and then they verified me. It was all nice. Yeah, both Twitter, the @Cody Rhodes on Twitter, and then that official Cody Rhodes with the little blue check. Everything is on there.
And of course, to employ you, bookroads@gmail.com.
Yeah, but don't.
Don't. You're too busy.
I mean, it's pretty bad. No, please do. No. I feel bad. Someone fields that email now,
Got it.
and that may be the worst job that anyone could ever have. We
Just
get a lot
flooded.
more. Well, we get a lot more questions than questions just about booking.
Yeah.
Things like that. So
Yeah.
I enjoy the really bizarre questions and
Oh, yeah.
pictures and things like that. Yeah.
Cody, where do you shop for shoes at? This is a booking email. Like,
Nope. It's whatever they want it to be.
oh
It's
boy.
public. It's whatever they want it to be.
Well, we can't thank you enough for coming in studio.
Oh, thank you.
Best of luck at Battle Los Angeles. And, you know, what you're doing, it's really inspiring to a lot of people because you handled everything like the professional that you are. You did everything the exact right way. And I
That
think,
was a little
you know,
dramatic.
a
little
not as
dramatic.
much as it could have been.
Pretty pro, though. Pretty pro.
Yeah. I mean, and everyone's behind you, and you have the utmost respect from everyone in the business. And it's really cool to watch this
Thank you.
journey that you and Brandi are on. So,
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. A lot of good. If we did this interview 3 weeks from now, I think you'd be even more excited. A lot of really good stuff on the horizon.
love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming into Fox Sports and spending time with us. And yeah, man, PWG is gonna be hell of a show this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Be
next time we
bonkers.
see you, you're gonna have a new checklist. This is done.
Yeah.
It's almost done.
Yeah, they. I mean, so many guys in Bola are on the list themselves. So yeah, the list. There was a backside to the list actually. I just didn't want to overwhelm social, but we have a second list that we made at the same time, so it's
Oh, boy.
authentic and genuine in that sense.
Yeah, you must be having guys coming up to you left and right like, hey, if you're gonna do another list, hey.
Michael Elgin, Elgin. How do you say it?
Elgin, I believe.
Elgin. Let's say Elgin.
Okay. Elgin? Sure.
Let's say, but yeah, no, it's Elgin. I think he was pissed he wasn't on the list.
He's an angry kind of guy sometimes.
Kevin Owens told me to just never let him be on the list ever. And I actually have a match with him coming up at House of Glory that I'm looking forward to. But I think I'm just gonna be a huge dick to him, just to be funny.
Just pretend to try to
Yeah.
bow out. of
And
it
then
right
like
before.
I think he's like Cesaro level strong. He's gonna throw me across the room or something. But hey, you know, you never know.
Canadians, they're strong. Right,
Okay.
Carrlyn?
I'm half strong.
Okay.
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 Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.